Have you ever thought about buying a log cabin kit? Well, today I'm going to talk about a few of the reasons it could be a very good idea. Let's go! Welcome to Becky's Homestead. Today I want to talk about log cabins and how I think log cabins are a really good fit for a lot of people. So my father is the one that actually recommended that I get the kit. And I just thought that was a fabulous idea. I was like, oh yeah, that sounds good. So of course I immediately started looking into them. He had built one kit. Just a little background is he would take down old buildings like a cider mill, an inn, take it down, and then, obviously move it to somebody's property and put it back up as this big spectacular house. So when my father recommended that I get a cabin kit, I thought that was a fabulous idea. So I immediately started looking for, into them. And there's a variety of cabin kits. There is a lot of information, and different companies offer different things with each kit. And obviously there's good cabin kits up here, and then it goes down to like not so good ones down here. So it is a lot of information to try to pick through and go through. If you don't have any carpentry knowledge or any building, experience at all, you definitely need a little help in that department. So, there's a few things you should look for and not look for, and there is things you have to know to navigate through that, but it is doable and it is pretty easy. And then as far as building the cabin, like I said, I don't have like master carpenter skills or anything. But, I did it, and it's such a cute house. It's the best house I've ever lived in. I love the look of log cabins. They're like solid. When it's a big, big, big rainstorm out there, like I can barely hear it, I'm like, it just feels so secure in this little wooden box. It's really, really a good house to live in. So that part's a plus, as far as people being able to build it, it's doable. That's a plus. There's a lot of pluses. To buy a kit isn't that pricey. I mean, to go buy a house that's already built, or even to redo a house, you have a lot of maintenance to do on a house if you buy a house. That price could be the same price as buying a log cabin kit. Or even cheaper, you could buy a log cabin kit even cheaper if you go small, which I highly recommend anyway to everybody. Go small. Don't go too big. Go small. You can add on later if you need more. And a lot of times you don't need more in the house. You might just need a barn or a workshop outside, and that'll do it, So there's a lot you can do in the future. So step one, where you're starting, just pick a little house. And a log cabin, the reason I suggest that is, I guess my father, that's the reason he suggested it to me, is, he realizes that it's doable for a person that's not a carpenter by trade. So I just think it's a good fit for a lot of people out there. And, usually you don't see too many log cabins. You'll drive along and you'll see one like, oh, that's so cute. You'll draw by looking at it. It's just so adorable, and, everybody likes them. But when it's time to build a house or get a house, I just don't think that's something that just automatically comes to people's minds. Like, oh, let me consider a log cabin. And like I said, there's some companies that do a great job on a kit. They will deliver that kit. And yes, it's a little overwhelming. They just drop it off and you're like looking at that big pile like, ooh, that's my house. I gotta put that pile into a house. But you can do it, if you sit there and just go slow, step by step, it's so doable for the average person, I would say. So I recommend that people look into building a log cabin kit. And I have never, I don't promote any company. I don't get paid by the company that I bought my kit from. I don't even like to say who they are, because You know, I think everybody needs to choose their own. I don't like to recommend things like name brand things to people because truly, truly, everybody is different. Everybody's budget is different. People are just so different. I don't like to recommend name brand things to people. You know, you can look into that for yourself and decide for yourself. And, you know, there's more important things to know than just, oh, what name brand did you get? You know, there's more important things to know, like what comes with the kit and, you know, the quality of the wood. And there's just other things to know, you know, besides things change over time. You know, companies sell, managers come and go, owners come and go. So, you know, it might be this name brand might be good this year, and in 5 years it might suck. You never know. So I just stay away from that. But, you know, it's such a nice house. And I think it's very comfortable to live in a log cabin. Another good thing about log cabins is they're so efficient. They're just very, very energy efficient because these logs are 8 inches thick. Now they do cut them flat on the top and bottom so they can stack them up good. But from this to the outside, that way, they're 8 inches thick. So, I mean, that is a lot of wood in there. Another good thing about a log cabin is you get to skip a lot of steps that an ordinary house would need. You know, an ordinary house, after you build the frame, you need to insulate and then put siding. You know, on the inside, you have to do the sheetrock, like I have there, which is such a pain and so much work to finish. You have to tape it and, you know, fix all the cracks. You have to know how to do that, which does take skill. Then you have to sand it and paint it. That's a lot of work. And with the log cabin, you know, you get to skip all that. You know, that's just steps you can skip, which, you know, the less work you have to do, really, the better, because it is already like a long process to build a house, even though it's doable. So, you know, if you can make it easier on yourself and in the end up with a really cute little cabin, I mean, that's the way to go for a lot of people. When you're choosing a kit, you know, there's a lot of things you need to know about kits. You know, there's just to help you navigate through what you think you need and want. And I wrote a little book, an ebook called Becky's Guide to Choosing Your Log Cabin Kit, because there are a lot of things you should, you know, just if you have them in your brain when you're calling somebody on the phone about the kit, or you're going to see a sample, you know, cabin already built. You know, you've got to have a few questions in mind that you like, I'm going to ask them this or that. It does help you get a better product. You know, you're not duped into something, or, you know, the salesperson forgot to tell you about something. You'll just have a little more knowledge to start out with. So, and these are things I learned the hard way. So I do like to, you know, pass along if I can. It does help people. And if you think you might want to get the book, the link is in the description below.